preparedness and surveillance. That is indeed a mouthful. Taylor is also serving as volunteer coordinator for the School of Public Health Graduate Student Organization. She completed her undergraduate studies at the University at Albany, where she achieved a double major in public health and English, and she also has experience in contact tracing for COVID-19. And she additionally is interested in terms of research in equitable access to mental health care, the effects of climate change on health and public health emergency response and management. Taylor's future plans include aspirations to work for the New York State Department of Health. So Taylor, thank you very much for joining us. Dean Gallant, thank you very much for joining us as well. And at this point, pardon me, we're going to hand it off to Dean Gallant, who will then transition to the introduction of our speaker.
All right, thanks so much, Sam. It's really my pleasure to be here tonight, and thank you, Taylor, for joining us as well. And I'm going to turn it over to you, Taylor, to introduce our special guest tonight.
Thank you, Dean Gallant and Sam. On behalf of the School of Public Health and its graduate student organization, I'm delighted to welcome to UAlbany Dr. Ursula E. Bauer, Deputy Commissioner for Public Health at the New York State Department of Health. Dr. Bauer directs the Office of Public Health and provides leadership of the state's portfolio addressing chronic diseases, infectious diseases, injuries, environmental health, maternal, child, and family health, and other areas of public health concern. Prior to joining the Health Department in August 2021, Dr. Bauer served as Senior Advisor to the U.S. Surgeon General, advancing partnership strategies to increase investment in communities, strengthen health, wealth, and well-being, and equitably improve individual, community, business, and economic prosperity. Prior to that, she directed the National Center for Chronic Disease Prevention and Health Promotion at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, a position she held for 8.5 years. While there, Dr. Bauer led the development of and obtained funding for the Good Health and Wellness in Indian Country program, which transformed the center's collaborative approach to improving the health and wellness of American Indians and Alaska Natives. In addition, Dr. Bauer has held various leadership positions in state health departments in Louisiana, Florida, and New York. Dr. Bauer holds a PhD in epidemiology from Yale University, an MPH in family health from Columbia University, and a master's degree in political science from Rutgers University. Welcome to Leading Questions, Dr. Bauer.
Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Sam. Great to be here.
Welcome, Dr. Bauer.
Thank you, Mary.
Dr. Bauer, thank you so very much for joining us this evening. You'd think after only a short 2 years of COVID that we would have mastered the mute button by now, but I'm a work in progress. So thanks again for joining us. Before we get started, I want to ask our audience members to please funnel your questions for Dr. Bauer through the Q&A function. You can send them at any time over the course of the program. Please feel free to indicate your class year. If you're part of the University at Albany local community or greater community, please feel free to indicate your class year and program of study, and or your hometown with your questions if you care to. We'll be asking questions a little bit later in the program. And I'd also like to let you know that the audience chat will be disabled over the course of this conversation. Dr. Bauer, we always begin leading questions with an audience poll. And the point of that is to get a sense of where our students, faculty, staff, and community members stand on a question that we'll be exploring. So tonight's poll question, audience, is: what health issue concerns you most? And there are several that are selected here. We'd ask that you select one of those options of your choosing relative to the health issue that concerns you most. And as we're receiving those responses, and we're asking that you select one option only, we look forward to a very, very spirited conversation this evening. We have the results of our poll here. There is no majority. We do have a plurality around mental health, and we could say, I guess, mental health and mental health wellness, or mental health care, mental health treatment, all falls under that umbrella. So that seems to be the health issue that concerns the audience the most. And as we transition into our dialogue, I'll ask if, based on those results, what is your initial reaction to hearing that, Dr. Bauer? If nonverbal spoke, you don't look very surprised. So I'm curious as to what your thinking is to hear that our audience seems to be focused on mental health as an area of concern.
Yeah, mental health is all over the news because of the pandemic, where we were just under so much stress and we lacked access to the services that we were used to the supports that we were used to family members and friends and routines that we were used to. But like so much of the pandemic, COVID-19 didn't create our mental health challenges. It really exposed and exacerbated existing problems that were much in need of attending to.
It's very interesting to hear that when we consider that for many, the notion of isolation may have been something that perhaps was underestimated relative to the effect on mental health. So thank you very much for highlighting that and giving us some things to think about. Taylor and I are going to step away for a bit to watch for incoming questions from the audience. We'll again encourage your audience to submit your questions through the Q&A function. And we'll now hear from Dean Gallant, who will have a conversation with Dr. Bauer. Taylor and I will be returning in a little while for the second half of our program, where we'll field some audience questions, and we'll also transition to our lightning round of questions. Dean Gallant.
All right, thank you, Sam and Taylor. Dr. Bauer, I want to welcome you again and say that we're really grateful to you